All right, so Pastor or Bishop Omolehin, of late I don't really post things about pastors having to attack each other and all of that. I've limited that. I feel like there's too much chaos in the Christian fraternity. It's not supposed to be like that. We do not have regulation. I don't think we will have one ever till Christ come, the second coming, I mean, right? But Omolehin, Bishop Omolehin, said some few things, okay? Deep things, of course, about Pastor Chris, about Bishop Oyedepo, and some other people. But I've not posted this on my channel, and so Prophet Ibrahim just spoke about it. And I feel like, look, this thing needs to be talked about. Now, I want us to, first of all, see a snippet of the video that he was talking about these men of God. Let's watch this one.
There are
others you will see. Once you see them, you readily know these are winners members. These are COSA members. You want to see these other churches, their members, those of Pastor Yakilome, you will know this is where they are from.
The sermon clip by Reverend
Àwọn ènìyàn ní láti rí ọ láti lè ronú lẹ́ẹ̀mejì kan sọ pé ọmọ bàbá Ọmọlẹ́yìn ni.
They need to see you in church and recognize that àwọn ará word assembly lélẹ̀.
Wọ́n nílò láti rí ọ nínú ìjọ kan sì mọ̀ lọ́wọ́ kan náà pé these are word assembly members.
Ó sáwọn míì náà tẹ́ máa rí tẹ́ bá ti rí wọn ẹ ti mọ̀ pé àwọn winner lélẹ̀.
There are others you will see. Once you see them, you readily know these are winners members.
Àwọn COSA lélẹ̀.
These are COSA members.
Àwọn ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì eléyìí tí ó jẹ́ ọ̀yá kìlọ̀ tó máa kó ìyẹ́ odídẹrẹ́ àti ìyẹ́ àlùkò tó máa kó sápò ẹ ti mọ̀ pé àwọn ará abẹ́rẹ́ lélẹ̀.
You want to see these other churches, their members, those of Pastor Yakilome,
ẹ ti máa mọ̀ pé àwọn ará
you will know
abẹ́rẹ́ lélẹ̀.
this is where they are from.
Ẹ ti mọ̀ pé àwọn ará abẹ́yẹn lélẹ̀.
You will know this is where these ones are from.
Àánú àwọn tó ń lọ ọbẹ̀ sì ṣe mí torí ọjọ́ táwọn olùdásí yẹn bá ti lọ ìṣekúṣe tó fi pilẹ̀ ìjọ yẹn náà ni wọ́n máa.
And I pity people who attend such churches because when the founders are gone, it's that same legacy of
Jesus. 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 They are specific angels for specific things. I shudder to think what it is that the world has come to be, where it seems as if there is no stopping in attacking men of God. One great man I put my respect on his name so much and love him so much, even to this day, love him. He just woke up in the spare of the moment. He attacked Christ Chambers and Pastor Chris. Just attacked. For no reason. He says, I don't like the way they do church, Christianity. These type of men of God are the reasons why there are instructions on a shampoo bottle. You'll get it. You'll get it when you get home. And then he attempted to do an apology. And it wasn't an apology. It was another deeper attack. Wonderful man of God who was preaching all these years with no controversy. Because it seems as if it's okay to make an impact. Say somebody who is bigger than you. Talk about them. And inside they mix other names that are lower than you, so nobody can catch that you are actually fighting bigger names. But do you know why Pastor Chris will never hear of it? He is too blessed. He is too blessed. As a matter of fact, I don't even pick up a phone to tell him somebody was saying. He will be so angry with me. Why are you telling me that? He would even say, oh, that's a great man of God. The same person who is attacking me, he said, that's a great man of God. To have such gobbledygook, nonsensical repetitions of nothing. No actual reason to hate on a man. Just to mention a name. Oyedepo. Chris Oyedepo. Then you go attack Koza. One of them said, there is a man called Uebert. I think he calls himself an ambassador. I call myself an ambassador. Every year you have the president live telling you, my ambassador. And yet the listeners are listening to lies, total garbage. And you sit under a father like that. And all you get is condemnation. So the blessing of the father is short-circuited. Because the ministry you are preaching in belongs to another man of God. And this man of God, I was talking to my wife just a few days ago, how I saw the man in a vision. The man who attacks me, I saw him in a vision. And God gave me instructions. And those, watch this. And those instructions were simply to love him. Trust me. Is it not true? It is very true what I'm telling you now. They were simply to love him. True, sir. You can, I'm telling you. That's it. Love him. And in that vision, he never told me he's not a man of God. He never said, this is not mine. No. Imagine if I wasn't Chris Oyakilome's son. I would have thought, yeah, I should have a vision of him being a demon. But I don't think in that way. No, I don't think. There's too many divisions now in the church. But to have generals that have not tainted themselves with that brand, tainting themselves so that they can trend. Let me tell you one thing. I don't trend. I'm too big to trend. No. The young men and women of God who are starting, who look for trends. I say this, so I trend. I'm making an impact, sir. We are impacting nations and imparting nations. We're no longer trending. Pastor Chris taught me how to have impact. Not to look for trends. If they are saying this way, I say it that way. So people can be, wow. No. Our own media team, sometimes they have this page that talks about the jokes and all that, which is wonderful. People need to laugh. But at one time, they were only focusing on such lighter moments in the service until I set them down. And I said, that's not the message. That is the humor. So people, when they remember the humor, they remember the point. You're missing the meat of the words. Because our part is to make an impact. Why am I saying this? In a night where I'm dealing with the Father's blessings, I'm dealing with it in this way. In every corner of the world, even behind the pulpit, there are distractions. things that take your eyes away from the prize, which should be only Jesus. As preachers, we also have people that talk. They just wake up to talk, because if they don't mention our names or any man's name in their preaching, they will never trend, because they don't make an impact. They only try to trend. And are these men of God? Yes. Did I say they are demons? No. Teach people Christ. Not minister a message against Koza, against Christ Embassy, against Spirit Embassy, against Oyedepo, Adeboye. Everything is a message. He came out. He says he's looking for, I don't know how many billions. Gio Adeboye, he said, I'm looking for how many billions. I don't know how many billions he was looking for. And he says, can I have 1,000 to give 1 billion each, 1 billion each? Can I have this one to give 2 million, 2 million each? Can I give this? He is talking to his children in the church. Somebody comes and says, he's preaching prosperity. No, sir. You are holding a mic that costs money. You are in a building you built using money. One man who stood there, I showed my wife. They sent it to me. I showed my wife. I said, look at this. This man said, if you have $383,000 as a man of God in your bank account, you are a demon. Hey. I think he tried. He tried all his life to find $5,000. It did not come. He said, this is not godly. If you have a jet as a man of God, you are a demon. He said, you will not go to heaven. He even removed his shoes. And just go on the comments. Comments are nice. Just go on the comments. Say, yes, man of God, you are saying the truth. I say, my God. If you are not careful, the enemy will fill you with distractions. I speak with the Father's blessing. I remove every distraction. It can be your friend as a distraction. It can be your mother as a distraction. It can be your father as a distraction. It can be just your boss as a distraction. It can be your girlfriend as a distraction. I remove their influence in the name of Jesus. Rekamagale Zomon Daligro Taikaba Taikabando Litapoina Zemene Rekonglakush Kegetoma.
Of all sorts that will be following up. If you bring all of us together in Nigeria, I have no leader among them. Ask them, when did you start preaching?
50 years ago.
I started preaching at Dr. Odun saying,
we are still counting.
and I'm still on it as in bachelor. I have a goodly heritage. I did not meet it in the hand of my predecessors who taught me. I've never seen Pa Obadare's wife. I've never seen Pari's wife. Where the madam will now put on trousers, elderly woman. And you see them everywhere, all these are women. Those who taught us, it was elderly. You can't find them in immorality. We have a goodly heritage.
Social media response has been sharply divided. Critics argue the statements are divisive and contradict biblical teachings about unity and avoiding judgment of fellow believers. Some have even suggested the elderly minister should consider retirement. Supporters, however, praise Reverend Omolehin as a bold voice for truth, with many describing his teaching as a call for Nigerian Christians to return to what they view as biblical standards. Reverend Isaac Omolehin is known for his uncompromising stance on biblical purity and frequent critiques of modern Nigerian Christianity. He often references his heritage from respected Pentecostal pioneers like Prophet Obadare, and
2025 market crash has come to an end, and you've heard it here first. Trump tariffs have caused an uncertainty on the market. This is the right time for investors to jump in. Now, XPX, that is XMP 500, dropped 21%. NAS 100 dropped 27%. UK 100 dropped 16%. US 30, best 30 performing companies, right, in the United States dropped 20%. BTC, I predicted, is going to hit 75K. It even dropped to 74,000 and some few pennies there, right? Now, this is a time. The elites have taken profit. The market has gone down during uncertainty with Trump tariffs. This is a time that we have set into an accumulation phase. You want to invest into the forex market, the synthetic, space. You want to invest into the crypto market. You want to do forex. You want to do stocks. You don't know how to do it. Join the financial market masterclass with Trader Nixon, and I'll show you how to do it like a pro. All right. So you have seen probably the video that he said these things to these big men of God, great men of God. In fact, the word big, I feel like, is not even supposed to be used in this context. We shouldn't have a big man of God. We should really have like a great man of God. And great means someone who have had impact on the Christian fraternity, right? That is what is most important. Now, I see where the man is talking from. You see, when somebody is talking from, the point of bitterness or stuff like that. Bitterness is a disease, you understand me? And let me be very frank with you, most men of God that mount the podium speak with a lot of bitterness. That's a fact. Most of the men of God. Because what will propel you to insult one man of God or talk down on another man of God or say something about a man of God, that is not positive. It is bitterness. Okay? Every Christian or religious leader now in a Christian fraternity feels like they have the ability to correct this, to correct that, to correct that, to correct this, about this one's ministry, that one's ministry, and that person's ministry. All of it is not going anywhere because that is not the main purpose of the calling. Nobody's purpose of his or her calling is supposed to correct any other person. No, never. It is not supposed to be like that. And I'm not here to talk about the purpose of anybody's calling. They know, but they still deviate from the purpose. Talking about Pastor Chris in that manner is disrespectful. Okay? Talking about Bishop Oyedepo in that manner, disrespectful. Koza, disrespectful. And if any other person was even talking about this man of God, who is now talking about this man of God, in that manner, will also be very disrespectful. Okay? Unity, togetherness, and love will take us to the next level as Christians. But I don't blame the Christians that much, but I blame the leaders. People who call themselves reverends, people who call themselves pastors, people who call themselves prophets. You understand? They mount the podium, and the bitterness that is speak on the podium is being released and, goes down to the members and is spread across. There's no love. There's no unity. There's nothing like that. Okay? It's the same way God Aaron was anointed. Oil was poured on his head, run through the beard, to the garment. That's the same way if you're a man of God, you mount your podium and start talking with bitterness. It is going to drop from you, move to the members. From the members, you see that it will just affect everything. I'm not here to talk a lot on this matter, but what I'm trying to say is that these problems is starting from this man of God. Okay? And it will go to your members, and your members, like members who are aspiring to be pastors and all of that, will also have the opportunity to, lead a particular church and also speak bitterly, with bitterness and all of that. And it will continue and continue and continue. But it will not yield any better result for the Christian fraternity. You understand me? So, wherever you are coming from, look, if your pastor is doing something that is not matching with the purpose of God, in fact, your body language should make him know that what he is doing is not making sense. That's a fact. We Christians have to make these people know, look, what you are doing is not right. But because they pose themselves as religious leaders that cannot be corrected in any way, they have they say what they want to say, they go away with it because the Spirit is leading them. Master, Spirit is not leading anybody when you are speaking in that nonsensical manner. Where is the love that Christ even showed us in the Bible? Where is it all? It's about who is having hundreds of thousands of members, who is having the biggest auditorium, who is hating on this person for having this and that and that. That's the truth. That's the reality on the grounds. But you don't want us to talk about it. When somebody mentions this, then you feel like the person is a less of a Christian than you are. Okay? So, that's it. Such an old man saying things like that. Understand what I mean to say? And we'll see it, and I promise you, we'll continue seeing it until these leaders, religious leaders, they change from their ways. You understand me? These apostles from Nigeria keep attacking prophets here and there. You understand me? It's still going to continue. My name is Shoda Nixon. I love to break down gospel messages like this. It's all I'm going to say about this particular topic. But let's all watch out and be very careful. I'm out.